Show, man, it's Deion Dawkins, and you listening to the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5.
Yes, you are. Good morning. It's the Red Man coming in out of the rain, hanging out last night at high school football games across the area. If you were out last night, you got wet. If you're out this morning, you're even getting wetter this morning because the games were on last night. Congratulations to Andre Fontenette coaching his first varsity game out there for Gates Childline High School, the Spartans football team. They gave it all they had, but Rush Henrietta had a lot more to give and a lot more experience on their team. A good game. They were called short due to the rain and everything. Good contest. Congratulations to Rush Henrietta in winning that contest over Gates Childline Spartans last night in Gates Childline. Beautiful facilities out there. A friend of the show, Joe Lynch, doing the announcing there, the stadium announcement in the press box. I had to leave the field and go up to the press box. J-GILLZ, this the Rad Man. Every Saturday morning we're on talking sports of our sorts from 8 to 9 a.m. I just got right into it. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show, everybody. J-GILLZ, how you doing this morning?
Oh, good morning, Rad Man. How am I doing, man? I'm doing phenomenal right now. We had two great football games last night. I mean, oh my God, what we saw last night could have been an NFC conference game the way that the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles put that together. I mean, I'm talking about phenomenal games. And then the night before, you got the Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs, the two-time defending champions, looking like a three-peat. I mean, that team is stacked. You know, the viewership, the largest game, the most amount of viewers ever for a home opener, season opener NFL game. 28 million people watching that game, and what a game it was. So when you're talking about how am I doing this weekend, I'm doing great, George. The football is back, and I can't wait.
Yes, indeed. And remember, we're broadcasting live from the Rock Palm Brokers studios each and every Saturday morning. Check out Rock Palm Brokers over there on State Street because we're broadcasting live from the Rock Palm Brokers studios for sure. And break this down. Were you impressed at how good Kansas City and the Kansas City Chiefs and Baltimore Ravens looked in that game? It looked like it was almost a mid-season game. It didn't look like the first game of the season.
Man, you're absolutely right. When I watched that game, and I got to see those guys going at it, I think it's like a real personal grudge right now at this point the media has sparked between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. You know, Lamar was asked after the game if he had any relationship with Patrick. He said, I don't got no relationship with none of these quarterbacks. So when I saw, the animosity that they had towards each other, I knew that they were going to be ready to play. And they're ready to play they were. I saw that, honestly, the Ravens to me looked a little bit out of sync. They looked like they were still trying to get it together. They still had some missing pieces there, especially on the defensive side of the ball. New defensive coordinator as well. I forgot who it was, but he took over from Mac McDonald, who took over the Seahawks head coaching job. So they got some pieces trying to get together. Obviously, Derrick Henry, a huge part of the offense, still trying to understand and learn how they're going to mesh Lamar Jackson with Derrick Henry. But when I say, man, when I looked at those Kansas City Chiefs, and I see that well-oiled machine, just like a puzzle fitting seamlessly together. Xavier Worthy, perfect fit for the Chiefs. No Hollywood Brown yet. Rashee Rice went crazy. Isaiah Pacheco doing his thing. Travis Kelce always knowing where to be. And then I saw a Juju Smith-Schuster sighting. I didn't even know he was on the team, right, man? I said, they got Juju too, who just won a championship with them just 2 years ago. Man, when I look at this Kansas City Chiefs offense, this is the first week, I'm scared for the league. It's not looking good for the league. We talk about a three-peat. I mean, it might be on the way. It might be on the way because this Kansas City Chiefs team is a well-oiled machine. They got their head coach, Andy Reid. They got their GOAT quarterback and Patrick Mahomes, and they got just enough pieces around them. They're loaded. They're fully stocked, and, man, it's going to be a long season for the NFL.
Yeah, and Patrick Mahomes looked like he's really psyched up. He said it right after they won the Super Bowl that, hey, he wants a third one. He wants to do something that teams haven't done in quite some time and have ever done, win 3 in a row. And it was funny that you could hear the animosity in one of the McCourty boys, who was one of the announcers of the game, when he flat out says, no way they're going to win 3. I'm like, well, gosh, man, that seemed kind of harsh. And even Maria Taylor picked up on it and said, well, don't hurt your New England feelings here. We ain't talking about New England. We talking about what Patrick Mahomes. I mean, we ain't got to go out. I can let Patrick Mahomes know what you're saying here on the air. And so she went where I was thinking. I said, man, that's kind of how you just gonna say no way, no how they're gonna win, and you ain't saying how that happened, why it's gonna happen. You just coming out with an attitude like that. I think they'll get Patrick Mahomes and them going, and they look really sharp. But a lot of times you don't want to look this sharp so early in the season. You don't want to look that sharp early in the season. You don't want to look that sharp early in the season. You want to make sure that you're ready and build up to it. So it's going to be interesting how they're going to keep it going throughout the season. And that new kid, Xavier Worthy, man, he looked like a toothpick out there, man. I tell you, if he take a couple shots, man, he may be missing some games, man, because, man, he looked like a pencil, man, with a eraser on the top of his head, man. That guy, he looked kind of skinny, don't you? I think he definitely going to have to be in the weight room after the season. You think he'll be able to survive out there, J-GILLZ?
I think he'll be able to survive. He looked like a flash of lightning is what he looked like. As soon as he had the ball rushing up the middle untouched on the first NFL touch of his career, touchdown. I mean, he looked fast, and I know fast watching those Miami Dolphins. I mean, but when you talk about his stature, I look at a guy like Devontae Smith. He's had success there as well. I think that what the Chiefs, they can be physical when they want to be. They can run the ball with Pacheco. You know what I mean? So it's not like he's going to be taking on a heap of hits and tackles. This is going to be this is just a luxury item for Mahomes right now. This is an amenity. You know what I mean? Oh, play action. Patrick Mahomes is sitting to play. There's Xavier Worthy wide open down the field. You know what I mean? I don't think, obviously it's football, it's a physical game, but I don't think that his stature is going to be that much of a problem. What I saw last night, man, I think it's going to get better, Radman. I understand they look good, but this is Mahomes we're talking about. This is Andy Reid we're talking about. And this is an abundance of talent that we're talking about on just the offensive side of the ball. You still got Spags who can bail them out on defense. This team is looking really good. It's looking really good.
Yeah, you got to remember, too, Kadarius Toney, who they cut, obviously they cut, who just didn't mesh well with his mental part of the game, being offsides, and he cost them a couple games, the Buffalo game for one last season, and, that didn't bode well. Now you got a young guy that's hungry, ready to play, and I think you got a point there that he probably will be ready to do his thing and make some plays for the team. It looks very dangerous. The difference in this game, J-GILLZ, the Chiefs, winning 27-20 over the Baltimore Ravens, was you had a superior quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. When his guy was wide open, there was a breakdown in the defense in the secondary. He hit that guy with a perfect pass, a deep pass. Boom, the guy caught it and was gone. Lamar Jackson, at the end of the game, the guy was wide open. He didn't even see him because in the locker room, in the postgame, he said, I wasn't even throwing the ball to that guy. What are you talking about? I was throwing it to Bateman. And Bateman was double covered, and he was trying to squeeze the ball in. He was under pressure. He was trying to squeeze the ball into Bateman. And it just so happened Zay Flowers was behind him wide open, and he never saw Zay Flowers. That's the difference between a good quarterback and a great quarterback. You saw the difference once again last night. This man is a great football quarterback, one of the greatest. I think once his career, when he retires, I think a lot of people are going to realize we've watched one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time playing in the National Football League, right behind another great quarterback, Tom Brady, that just retired. We're fortunate enough to have another one that was already here. Remember, everybody said him and Josh Allen was even and even. He was even with it. Hell no, we knew right from day one. Josh Allen ain't nowhere near these guys. Lamar Jackson not near this guy either. Joe Burrow's not either. None of these quarterbacks are where Patrick Mahomes is. He done extended way above these guys. And now you're hearing the announcers and all these announcers that used to say, oh, Josh Allen this and oh, Joe Burrow's this and Lamar Jackson is, are they all equal to Patrick Mahomes? Their mouth is shut up. Patrick Mahomes has shut them all up. The man is great. You're watching greatness on the football field. Don't slip up on Patrick, because if you do, he's gonna make you pay the price. Lamar Jackson, he didn't make the Kansas City Chiefs pay the price when their defense broke down and Zay Flowers was wide open in the back of the end zone, and he let everybody know he never saw the guy wide open. He was throwing the ball to another receiver. You just so happened to see the ball deflect and go past Zay Flowers, and the announcer, everybody thought gave the benefit of the doubt to Lamar Jackson that he was throwing he was trying to get the ball to Zay Flowers and do a horrible pass. No, he never saw him. He was trying to throw the ball to somebody else, to Bateman there that was double covered. So that was a great game. Great recap. They host Cincinnati Bengals next week. That should be a good one next week at home again for the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's what it is with Kansas City. They're scheduled because they are the number one team every week. They don't get a week off. They get a week off when they get in their division, really, when they get some of those teams in their division. But playing outside the division, that you get some tough ones coming up. But they're home next week to the Cincinnati Bengals. That should be another exciting game, and he's probably going to have a chance to show Joe Burrows just how much better of a quarterback they are. And one other thing too to note, in the Kansas City Chiefs rushed 3 guys on the last 2 plays of the game. In the last play, they rushed 3. That meant the Baltimore Ravens had 5 linemen back there defending, protecting Lamar Jackson. But why wouldn't they double team Chris Jones? They did not double team Chris Jones. They had single, and Chris Jones was able to get in and put pressure and force Lamar Jackson to throw the ball early. Why would you? That's a breakdown in their blocking scheme. If they're rushing only 3, 2 men should have taken Chris Jones and doubled him up to allow Jackson to move around until somebody broke free and open. So it's not all Lamar Jackson's fault. When you break down the film of that game, you saw that the offensive linemen didn't do their job. Their blocking scheme was off. The guards should have realized, hey, they only blocking 3 guys. Hey, 2 guys, you guys over here on the right side, take care of Chris Jones, double him up. And they did not. And that's a part of the game that the fans don't see. But we as the experts watching the games and breaking the games down, that's why the Radman's been covering the NFL for over 28 years and also writing Professional Football Writers Association. I've been a member of the Pro Football Writers Association. You can see my articles in Challenger Community News. It was a breakdown of the offensive line that forced Lamar Jackson to throw the ball early because they refused to double team Chris Jones on those last 2 plays of the game. Next week, the Ravens are home to host the Las Vegas Raiders next Sunday, so they're playing their Western schedule right away. They open with the Chiefs, and now they get another team out of that division, the Las Vegas Raiders, next week in Baltimore, and the Kansas City Chiefs will host the Cincinnati Bengals. J-GILLZ, can you tell us a little bit about the Packers and Eagles contest?
Man, so for one, Radman, we got a lot of people complaining. The NFL is doing what they do, getting their money with all of these different agencies and Peacock and Amazon Prime, but a lot of folks couldn't even watch the game last night. I'm not sure if you got the Peacock app. I'm not sure if you were able to watch the game. It was an excellent game, though, in my opinion. I mean, it was going back and forth. Jordan Love putting people on notice. I mean, both of these offenses looked really good, but ultimately, those Eagles did what the Eagles were expected to do, and that's going to be another team that's going to be tough. Put up 34 points in an opener, on the road in Brazil. It's good. So, I mean, when I looked at the mesh of Saquon Barkley, that's another team that just instantly just meshed together like a puzzle. Saquon Barkley over 100 rushing yards. Jalen Hurts, he had a couple of bad turnovers that didn't look good, those 2 interceptions. But he still was able to connect with his guys, connected with Saquon in the passing game for a touchdown, got it to his guy, A.J. Brown. So that is another offense that's explosive. They've got weapons on weapons, and I think it's going to be a really good season for them as well.
Yeah, throwing the ball, he threw the ball, 18-yard touchdown pass to Saquon Barkley. Then Barkley ran one in. Saquon Barkley had a big night for the Philadelphia Eagles. And that tells me they're in the same division with the New York Giants, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yes, that's
man,
what
if I'm the owner, I fire that general manager. Who the hell would trade out one of the best, your best player on the team? You're going to trade him within the division or allow him to go to somebody? There's no way in hell he would go inside the division.
It was a free agent pickup, but you're right. They should have paid that man easily. They should have paid him. You cannot let him walk knowing a team like Philly or even Dallas. If it wasn't Philly, I bet you Dallas would have picked him up. These guys in your division who need running backs, and you're letting your best player walk, but then you're going to pay Daniel Jones $40 million? Come on, man.
Something wrong with that picture, man. And remember what I said last week, the Mara family has not had a black quarterback in the National Football League of their career. The Mara family, Mara, M-A-R-A, the Mara family They have never had a black starting quarterback during the regular season. I'm talking non-strike season. They have never had a black NFL quarterback, and they did. Here they go. They didn't want to pay the black man. Well, you're gonna pay the price now for not paying that man. You paid Daniel Jones. I would have cut Daniel. I would have drafted another. Why wouldn't you just draft another quarterback the next season before paying him, or bring in a bridge gap quarterback to bridge the gap until your rookie quarterback that you now drafted. Daniel Jones can't play consistently in the National Football League, and then you send them to a team that don't really need them, and now they playing the first game. It was sloppy in the first half. Thanks to Joe, my buddy Joe Lynch had it on his screen there. We were up there, and I was glad to be in that press box. Not only that it was raining, but I got to see a lot of that game, that Eagles Packers game. Thanks to the guys having it on the phone there up there. So I saw some of the Eagles plays. I thought Green Bay messed up early in the game, and when they had the 6-0 lead, they should have scored. Both of those should have been touchdowns. They were forced to kick field goals early on, and that cost them late in the game. Those two red zone times where they went in and didn't score, they were unable to run the ball. They were trying to throw it every play. They tried to throw instead of running the football and running hard against the Philadelphia Eagles. They settled for 2 field goals. Was up 6-0 for quite a while in that game, and it bit them in the second half because you had the feeling the Eagles offense was going to get going eventually, and it did, and they ended up losing that one 34, Philadelphia Eagles 34, Green Bay Packers 29. And that's mad that people could not see that game. I wouldn't have been able to see that game if I wasn't out. That's a shame. Who wants Peacock? I'm not going to pay $5 a month for Peacock. I'm not, and all these other Hulu and all these other streaming services. I'm so sick of everybody asking for money, man. Everybody asking for money to watch TV. Come on. And the NFL, the pimps that the NFL are, they just pimping. Now they're going to have games on Netflix later in the season. I thought that was just for a movie channel. I didn't know that you can see, you're going to put sports on a movie channel. Okay, NFL, as long as they pay you big money, you may put the game on it only in the bathroom of Hooters or some of these big time bars or something, man. The way y'all carrying out, man. The way y'all be pimping people. That's
Buffalo Wild Wings gonna get the exclusive. Yeah, right.
You gotta go to Buffalo Wild Wings and one of those joints that see the game only. I mean, come on, man. This is ridiculous, and it's a shame that the National Football League has gotten to this point where they're just pimping the games out to anybody, anytime, anywhere, and you can see these games anywhere. Instead of Peacock, it should have been right on the regular NBC channel. Come on, man. That's ridiculous, man. And bad enough you're making money over there in Brazil. The game was in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So okay, you making the money, taking the game over there. They're paying you big money to play the game, and then you got the nerve to pimp us out back in the U.S. and don't even put it on regular TV. That's disgraceful, man. Disgrace. That's a bad look on the National Football League, and hopefully somebody will get involved and try to let them know, hey, man, we the one who built this league up, and now that the league is built up, now you're taking it everywhere but here, and we can't even see the games. Oh, come on, man. That's hey, there you go. Somebody needs to speak out on that. And remember, we're broadcasting live from the Rock Palm Brokers Studios. Rock Palm Brokers, 559 State Street, 585-262-9920. Check out Rock Palm. Sammy and his crew, deal or no deal. Go in there, make a deal with Sammy and his staff, and I guarantee you'll walk out there with the jewelry, with the bling that you need, or if you're looking for appliances and things of that nature, it's in the room in the back. You can check out there and get some items at a reasonably priced items. Check out Deal or No Deal going on now at Rock Palm Brokers, 559 State Street, 585-262-9920. If you want to call to make sure they have certain items that you're looking for, give them a call and check them out ahead of time. And also, the award-winning Miriam Rivera Insurance Farmers Insurance Agency, Auto, Home, Health, and Life Insurance, 1038 Lyle Avenue, 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Call 585-360-0094. Check out Miriam Rivera for your insurance needs and make sure that Miriam, hey, motorcycle season and all of that is almost up. The boating season. Hey, if you need to check out your insurance for next season, check out Miriam Rivera because she does all those toys, the boats, and all of that good stuff. Check her out. She got things going on over there, so give her a call, 360-0094. The award-winning Miriam Rivera Farmers Insurance Agency for your auto, home, health, and life insurance policies. Check her out. She saved the Radney family a hell of a lot of money. The Rad Man and his crew saved us a hell of a lot of money. She can save you and your crew a hell of a lot of money too. Our auto, home, health, and life insurance, right, J-GILLZ?
Oh, absolutely. Pet insurance too. You can't forget about the pet insurance.
That's right. That's another one. That's right. They got the pet insurance is going on. That's right. I forgot about that. Thank you very much for adding that. And now we go into the Buffalo Bills, the local team. J-GILLZ. The Bills open up tomorrow against the Arizona Cardinals. They named their captains this week. I was surprised on Terrell Bernard. I was curious on the defensive side. Terrell Bernard on the defense and Josh Allen on the offense. They've only had 2 captains, where last year they had 8. They had 8 captains a year ago. They only named 2 captains for this season. And talking about they got a board or some type of committee or something to bring up the rear. But what's your take on only having 2 captains?
Man, McDermott, one thing about him is he's going to make his fellas earn it, and it's a lot of guys through the years who have earned it. A lot of their captains done left. Stephon Diggs left. Mitch Morris left. Jordan Poyer's left. So all of these veteran guys Tre'Davious White, who proved it already, those guys are gone, and he's not just going to let anybody be a leader in his locker room. So those guys are going to prove it. So right now, you got Josh Allen, I'm assuming, as a captain, and I'm not sure the other one, but it's probably Deion Dawkins or somebody like that. And the rest of the guys, they're going to have to prove it, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that at all. They definitely gonna have to prove it and prove that their work ethics in the whole 9 yards fits into what McDermott is doing this season. And I think this is going to be very interesting because I mentioned it each year ever since the 13-second game. A lot of those guys were looking cross-eyed at head coach Sean McDermott for losing that game. Let's face it, Sean McDermott lost that game. There's no doubt about it. He was the reason for the season of losing that game against the Kansas City Chiefs when the Bills had them with 13 seconds left in the game. The Bills had those guys, had them beat, and the defensive errors that McDermott caused by trying to take the calls away from Leslie Frazier, and instead of letting Leslie Frazier finish the game off like he should have, he jumped in there and caused all kinds of confusion. The team ended up playing 2 different defenses during that time period. Milano and them on one, Tremaine Edmonds on the Leslie Frazier side of it. And I do believe that's why Tremaine Edmonds is no longer a Buffalo Bill, because I think he fell out with head coach McDermott fell out with Tremaine Edmonds for not changing the calls or something or whatever during that confusion. Because Tremaine Edmonds, it's obvious he stuck with the Leslie Frazier style defense during that 13-second time period. Because there's no way, why would you cut him? Why would you let him go? He's a very good linebacker, big, 6'4", and now you're going with a smaller, undersized linebacker in Terrell Bernard. It just doesn't make sense. The change that was made at that time period. It doesn't make sense why that type of change was made. To you, J-GILLZ, did that make any sense?
Nah. I mean, we've talked about this for many years, and even the Mighty Oba's been on this topic. When you're talking about the 13-second game, and it's crazy that we're still talking about this. And as Bills fans, that's what we're going to be talking about because we're talking about the a life-changing or a life-defining moment in your coaching career. When you're McDermott, that 13 seconds is going to be haunting him until he can finally get over the hump, because you're as close as you're going to get playing a guy like Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen actually proved to be that guy in that game. And that's what left a lot of media guys and critics actually admiring Josh Allen, because we saw the way in which he dueled Patrick Mahomes. We haven't seen anybody duel Patrick Mahomes like that. I haven't seen Lamar Jackson duel him like that. We've seen Joe Burrow get over the hump, and we have to give him credit where credit is due. When we talk about that 13-second game, it's even more of a stain, because when is the next time we're going to see Josh Allen be able to play at that elite level like he played in that 13-second game? So, Coach McDermott, we're surprised that he still has a job right now. That new stadium is opening up next year or the year after, one of these 2 years. So he's going to have to get it together. If not, it's going to be adios, McDermott.
Exactly. I mean, there's nowhere else for him to go. And now you done changed the team so much. Most of those guys are gone. So most of the guys in the locker room don't remember wasn't there for the 13-second game and don't remember what happened. And like you said, if Josh Allen would have won that game and they came home against Cincinnati the following week, and remember, the Bills were a healthy team at that time. Hyde and Poyer was healthy. Everybody was pretty much healthy, playing very well, playing at a peak condition. And they almost should have upset the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City in that 13-second game. They would have went on to play Cincinnati the following week. If Buffalo would have beat Cincinnati, they would have played the LA Rams in that Super Bowl. They should have, and that would have been a real good matchup against the LA Rams. And I do believe that's the same season the Bills opened the season and defeated the Rams that first game of that season, and in that same stadium, in SoFi Stadium, to open that season. So it would have been interesting to see Buffalo against the LA Rams in that Super Bowl. But because of McDermott being nervous and losing his composure and taking over the defense, cost the Buffalo Bills a possible Super Bowl opportunity. Those players are now gone. Most of those guys are gone. You got newer guys in there. Let's see if Josh Allen how Josh Allen reacts. Can he dump the ball off? Can he play within himself and go to the open receiver instead of having to look for Stephon Diggs all the time? Let's see how he matures and how he's able to perform at that level. And but speaking of players that got to have to perform, we're gonna put on an interview here of Jim Harbaugh talking about his quarterback over there with the LA Chargers. And this interview is brought to you by Good Life Collective, 155 Monroe Avenue, Rochester, New York, 585-360-2041. Open 7 days a week. You gotta be 21 years of age for the dispensary, which is now open. Legal weed. You can go to their website, goodlifeweed.com. Goodlifeweed.com. Go to the website, learn about all the opportunities, all the items they have for sale there at their fine, beautifully decorated establishment at 155 Monroe Avenue. Good Life Collective, 155 Monroe Avenue. Jamel and the crew doing a hell of a job out there. Service is great services. People there, the customer service is outstanding. So let's go to the Jim Harbaugh and hear what Jim Harbaugh had to say about his starting quarterback.
He's like a human computer chip, for a brain. It's just the way he thinks, the way he can go through information, get to the, absorb it, retain it, remember it, disseminate it. I mean, it's really impressive.
Yeah, isn't that something? It's really impressive to talk about his starting quarterback and how hopefully this season they get into a close game. He can finally win a close game, because I've never seen him throw a winning touchdown pass in a game with less than 2 minutes left in the game. Have you, J-GILLZ?
I haven't, no. But I want to say, and I'm a firm believer that, the coach makes the player. In some instances, obviously, players are just that elite. But a good coach always helps a good player, whether it's Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson, you know what I mean? The different guys. And I've even seen it. Look at Tua Tagovailoa. This is a perfect example. Coach Brian Flores goes in there, no confidence in himself at all. Tua had no confidence in himself. Soon as he gets a guy who's bought into him, a guy like Mike McDaniel, who they just extended as well. Stephen Ross is just paying everybody right now. It better work out. He just gave Jalen Ramsey $70 million, just to let you know.
For
he's
what?
Paying everybody.
What are you paying him for?
He's giving everybody money right now. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but back to my original point. Mike McDaniel, as soon as he gets there, he instills that confidence. When I look at Justin Herbert, his first season, that was no aberration, right, man? That was him. That was a guy 6'4", 200 pounds, can sling that rock. And you know what? He showed us that he can be a pretty good quarterback in the league. But when you got a guy like Brandon Staley, I'm sorry, I don't have any confidence. I don't care if it was Patrick Mahomes back there throwing the ball. Brandon Staley would have found a way to lose, if you ask me. So a guy like Harbaugh going there and putting that together. And it's not a complete picture right now. They don't have anybody to throw the ball to. They don't have any running game. I'm not sold on them at all. But I do think that the confidence that that my man Justin Herbert will show once he's healthy too, I think it'll be vast from last year, and I think that he'll be able to carry them to a decent season. I like Justin as a quarterback. I don't think he's been in the right situation, but that's why they got a new coach in there.
And they're not a new. Jim Harbaugh knows what he's doing. Won the national championship at the University of Michigan. Took the 49ers to the Super Bowl with Colin Kaepernick losing in New Orleans, which I thought was one of the best Super Bowls I attended. That game in New Orleans in the Superdome with the lights going out. So the game was suspended for about 45 minutes or so, almost an hour during the Superdome before the guys had to re-exercise, get loose all over again, and continue that game. And the 49ers came Colin Kaepernick dumped the ball over the defender's head, but he threw it just a little too far for his receiver to catch it. And just by inches, Colin Kaepernick, Jim Harbaugh, and the San Francisco 49ers would have been Super Bowl champions, because that was almost like with 30 seconds or less left in that game. A very exciting conclusion to that Super Bowl. People forget that was Jim Harbaugh's coach team against his brother, the coaching the Baltimore Ravens. And Justin Herbert, I think now he's already talking about a running game. Jim Harbaugh talking about a running game. So he's going to take pressure off of him with a running game and then passes. And you're right, Justin Herbert has all the tools to succeed. Most likely, probably, I think you're right, probably because of the poor coaching that he had to endure there with the Chargers, because Staley should never have been anybody's head coach. No. He should have been in college or something. This guy shouldn't have been in the National Football League as a head coach. That's what happens when you put the wrong coaches in the wrong in a position like that. That it cost them. They wasted years with Justin Herbert. Now let's see what they can do with a proven head coach, and they'll be able to run the ball, and effectively they'll set up the passing game. That's what it sounds like. Sounds like they're going to set up the passing game with the running game there in the Chargers. But what do you think the keys for the Bills will be tomorrow against the Arizona Cardinals?
Oh, man, Radman, I know we ain't at your segment yet with the pick'ems, but I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals. I just look at the team. I think it's going to be very early for them. I think right now, obviously, you have to worry about winning games. It's a tough AFC. Every game matters. But I would worry more so about trying to really get this offense together. When I looked at the Baltimore Ravens, another team who had inserted so many new offensive pieces, still trying to figure it out. This is, second year offensive coordinator with the Ravens. This is Joe Brady's second year as well. But it's still a lot of pieces. Lamar, just like Josh Allen, isn't one of those accurate guys. They can get it done with their legs, but he's going to have to really build chemistry with some of these guys. He's got Khalil Shakir, who's been on the team, but outside of that, everybody else, he hasn't played with them. Curtis Samuels, the rookie Keon Coleman, McCole Hartman. These guys, he has to build chemistry with them. Hopefully, Dalton Kincaid can continue to be that security blanket, and of course James Cook. But James Cook isn't used to that much of a load as well. It was a very much so run by committee for the Bills these last couple seasons. He had some breakout games, but he hasn't just been the dominant guy throughout the season. So now this is his first year doing that. So I think right now it's focused on the Bills to try and build that chemistry, try and find out who they are offensively, try and find an identity, and just continue to, build from there. But it's going to be tough. So the keys to win the game, I think it's going to be a tough one for y'all to win. I need to see some more on defense. But I think this is going to be a good measuring game to really see exactly who the Bills are and what they're going to be offensively and defensively. Because I look at the Arizona Cardinals, they're no scrubs to me. You got a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback over there. You got some pieces over there, and I think it's going to be a good game to measure to see exactly where the Bills are in this NFL season.
I think, thank you. I think that's a good analogy there. Good breakdown of the game. The Cardinals have a poor run defense. I think the Bills will expose them with the running game, and that running game will set up some passing game later on once Allen gets comfortable, because he doesn't really start. It's hard. Josh Allen, it's hard for him to start really hot. It takes a build-up for him. I think the Bills' running game will get them going early with the running game and be able to move the ball against the Arizona Cardinals. Because you're right, Kyler Murray is no joke whatsoever. James Conner, the running back, former Pittsburgh Steeler, University of Pitt running back that Damar Hamlin said he looked up to James Conner's during their Pitt days. He was a guy that he always looked up to. Damar Hamlin be starting on the defensive side. James Conner, running back for the Arizona Cardinals. They got a good tight end. The rookie Marvin Harrison Jr. So it's going to be a good contest. I do think the Bills will be able to find a way to pull this one out. Your captain, Josh Allen, got to pull everybody together on the offensive side, and your new captain on the defensive side, Terrell Bernard, he got to pull the team together on the defensive side. And I think the Bills will be able to stop the running game. They'll be able to stop the running game of the Cardinals and force the Cardinals into a passing game. Now, will Damar Hamlin starting at safety along with Tyler Rapp, will they be able to not have blown coverage? We've seen blown coverages in both games played so far this season. So will those blown coverages come into effect? Rasul Douglas are starting at corner. Christian Benford, Khalil Elam. And also, we're hearing rumors that the Chicago Bears is trying to work a trade for Khalil Elam. I've been hearing that. We've been hearing that as well. They're trying to work a trade for Khalil Elam. Do you think that might take place, J-GILLZ?
Man, they better hope not. I don't know who else they got at cornerback for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, you got Rasul Douglas, you got Christian Benford, but he's talking about the depth. The depth has already been limited. I'm going to try and keep Khalil. And he had a pretty strong training camp, if you ask me. Now, if you can get a fourth-round pick for him, maybe a third. Third might be stretched, though. But maybe like a fourth-round pick for him, you might have to pull the trigger. But honestly, when I look at that, Brandon Beane got to start because he did the same thing in the draft. He should have took a guy like Xavier Worthy. I look at what he's doing. Xavier Worthy would be a seamless fit for the Buffalo Bills right now. I mean, just the speed that they need. Just at least the space the field just a little bit. But what did Brandon Beane do? He traded that pick to the Kansas City Chiefs just for to pick up another pick in the next season. So stop trying to accumulate all these picks and just stick with the talent. So I don't know. We talk about Khalil Elam. Just stick with the talent. You drafted him in the first round. He's had a good camp. Now it's time to pay him. So now you want to move on. Nah, man. Let the man play for this year. Pick up his fourth option and then see what he does.
I agree with you because he can play. And I think if you see him on another team, you could see that, damn, why wouldn't the Bills play this man? This man plays a press coverage. Let him play bump and run at the line of scrimmage. The new Joseph Adai, the new cornerbacks secondary coach for the Buffalo Bills came from the Miami Hurricanes of college football. He's more suited to the bump and run. He's allowing him to bump and run. So that's why they need to allow this man to get into a bump and run defense. A bump and run, ladies and gentlemen, is when the cornerback hits the receiver, hits the receiver at the line of scrimmage. He goes in there and bumps him with his arms, hits him up, doesn't hold him, but he bumps him enough to get him off his pattern at the line of scrimmage. Beat him at the line of scrimmage. That's Khalil Elam's game. He's the best athletic player the Bills have, so I just don't get why the Bills would not play this man. The man is doing his best. He should be a Buffalo Bill, but quiet as it kept, the Bills have a heavy load. You're paying with cap debt right now. You're paying Stephon Diggs $24 million to play for another team. So the Bills don't have no money. That's why they traded out of that pick and allowed. And the thing about it is, think about it. The Buffalo Bills, just like you just mentioned, they traded in the draft to move into the second round, and they traded directly with the Kansas City Chiefs and allowed them to pick Xavier Worthy. Well, we go back further several years ago. The Bills moved out of the number 10 pick and traded Brandon Beane, traded with the Kansas City Chiefs, and allowed Kansas City to pick Patrick Mahomes. They didn't even take 30 seconds on the clock. As soon as they got the trade was announced, they went right in. They came right to the man was coming. Goodell was coming to the microphone. So, the pick is in. Here, the pick. And he came up and announced the pick that the Kansas City Chiefs picked Patrick Mahomes. And you saw everybody in their war room, everybody hugging each other. Andy Reid ecstatic. Because Andy Reid just realized, man, he just stole him a quarterback, and little did the league know. Andy Reid knew at the time, hey man, I got myself a championship quarterback. They started Alex Smith that season. The end of the season, they allowed Patrick Mahomes to play the final game of the regular season. And then after the season, bye Alex Smith and went with Patrick Mahomes, and he never looked back since. Because Andy Reid and them, they knew what they were getting. They said, let's go ahead. So in my mind, J-GILLZ, don't you think they should give Brandon Beane a Super Bowl ring too? Because damn, he done helped them win 3 Super Bowls, man. Brandon Beane has been a part of their championship class with the trades. That trade was so ridiculous. Why in the hell you need a quarterback? You at number 10. And you're going to trade with Kansas City that also needs a quarterback. And what? You didn't know anything about Patrick Mahomes? No. You just don't want a black man to be the face of the Buffalo Bills in the National Football League. And that's come from the owner on down. That's got to be an owner move. We do not want a black man, a black face to be the face of the Buffalo Bills. That's all that was, ladies and gentlemen. The owner, Pegula. Because Pegula is already in a lawsuit with some sports writer right now, because of racial remarks allegedly that he's made. And this is the second time Pegula has been caught up with racial slurs being made allegedly by him at NFL meetings. So you put 2 and 2 together. Hey, 2 and 2 don't equal 87. It equals 4. And the chances are Pegula telling Brandon Beane, we don't want no black quarterback. And that had to be what went down. Because how you don't pick Patrick Mahomes at number 10? Why would you trade out of the spot? And the team that picks him, Kansas City, that picked him, done won 3 of the last, and get ready to go trying to win 3 Super Bowls in a row, where the Bills at least could have had a better opportunity with Patrick Mahomes than Josh Allen. Your take, J-GILLZ?
Oh man, I couldn't have said it better myself. Like I said, you know, he did that with Mahomes. He just did that with Worthy. You know, Brandon Beane. Those two right now, they're gonna have to go. McDermott and Beane, they should be on the hot seat, but they're not on the hot seat. But they need to be, if you ask me. You know what I mean? And then this is a makeout year, because right now you have the Dolphins, who are looking just exponentially, just explosive on every level. You know, everybody's feeling good in Miami. Everybody's looking good in Miami. So right now, and you got the Jets even. And you got to give Mayo some credit too. Buffalo is in a division that they've owned for the last 6 years. And right now they have to maintain that, because I'm telling you, if not, it might be a long offseason for Brandon Beane and McDermott.
It could be a very long season. Exactly. We're going to see what happens as we continue on. But let's get into tennis before we get into the picks. Frances Tiafoe lost last night in the U.S. Open. He had a chance to get to the finals, but unfortunately, he got derailed once again. Taylor Fritz ended up beating him. 2 Americans playing in the U.S. Open. Taylor Fritz defeated Frances Tiafoe in their match last night. Very exciting match. But hey, on the women's side, Jessica Pegula. Now she went 6 times she could not get from the quarterfinals to the semifinals. But finally, in trip number 7, she made it to the semifinals, and now she's made it to the finals. She'll be playing later tonight against Sabalenka for the U.S. Women's championship at the U.S. Open. J-GILLZ, that's one Buffalo Bill person from the area that's finally got over the hump. It took 6. She even said it in the post-game interview after her last match, that when she made it to the semifinals, that she got sick of people asking her, when you going to move from the quarterfinals? Are you ever going to win from the quarterfinals and get into the semifinals? And she said she got sick of answering their questions. And she's just so happy because she's been playing very well. She's playing her best tennis ever. Good luck tonight. We're rooting for you, Jessica Pegula. Good luck. We hope you can bring home the championship tonight and raise it high over your head at the Arthur Ashe Stadium there in Flushing Meadows, New York. It's going to be a great match tonight. Look forward to seeing that match later on. Check your local listings for that one. Hopefully, Jessica Pegula can come through with the championship, winning the championship tonight. Last but not least, let's get into the picks. J-GILLZ, let's go with your Miami-Jacksonville game. Jacksonville getting 3 points.
Oh man, you gonna tell me, or you asking me?
No, that's the point. Yeah, no, I'm gonna tell you. Jacksonville getting 3.5 in this contest.
Oh, you going with Jacksonville?
No, I'm just giving you the spread. I'm just telling you, Miami versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville getting 3.5 points.
So you asking me my opinion?
Yeah, who's your pick, man? Yeah,
You already know
man,
what my pick is. Hey, Fanatic, let them know.
Hey, it's week one. Everybody trying to knock off the cobwebs, I guess, man.
Hey,
Let me tell you, yeah, that line, it looks something serious. Hey, the line is what the line is. Jacksonville, Miami, the Battle of Florida. It's not like the Heat on one. Man, these lines, I personally like the over in that game. Not feeling too confident on that. I'm not going to derail right now, but I got to talk a little LSU. But go ahead. Let's finish that line up.
That's a bad loss last week.
Come on.
But I'm going with the Dolphins. I look at the high-powered offense. When I look at the teams right now, Miami home opener, this is the most explosive team that they've had in a long time. I think they're going to be very comfortable at home, coming off of last season, how they were at home. And when I look at the Jaguars, I mean, I do like the Jaguars a lot. Obviously, they got a good potent offense as well. But I'm going with the Dolphins, even with the points. I think they're going to be putting up points major. Let's not forget about week 3 of last season with the Denver Broncos. We put up 70 of them things. And I think at home, we're going to be real comfortable. I like that over pick, Fanatic. I like that over pick.
All right, let's roll through on Pittsburgh. A pick 'em. Pittsburgh at Atlanta is a pick 'em, guys. I like the Steelers in this one. I always like. I think they've been looking bad. I think Russell Wilson won't even play with the ham. He is soft tissue. Man, he needs to go home. Go home to his family. He's just not in football condition no more. He's too big. He's too big to play. If you look at the picture they showed on TV of him when he was with Seattle and they won, he looked like it's a totally different. That's not the same Russell Wilson we see with the Pittsburgh Steelers today. I think the Justin Fields going to take over. The Steelers going to find a way to defeat the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay.
I like Kirk Cousins in the Atlanta. I like the Falcons in this. I like Kirk Cousins. You know what I'm saying? I think that Kirk Cousins got an abundance of riches over there. I'm liking Raheem Morris. I'm going with the Falcons.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like, to me, I'm torn. It's that Radney pick, the Radman pick. The Steelers getting points. They figure it out, but it's the home opener. Atlanta, my man. Geez, man. I'll come back to it. But anyway, Atlanta gave my man Packer, Willie Packer, my man, FAMU grad. He's now a part owner of the Falcons.
Oh.
Atlanta's gonna be hype, man. It's the first game, man. So I'm torn. I'm going to go ahead and lean. I'm going to take the Radman, but I don't feel great about it. What's next, Radman?
Minnesota Giants, another pick'em game.
Yeah, that was interesting. To me, Daniel Jones stinks. We all know that. He couldn't play better than some of these high school quarterbacks. But the Giants getting ultimately disrespected. I think their defense going to keep it in play. And we know Sam Darnold is not that good. He's going to turn the ball over multiple times. That's the best prop bet, folks. Sam Darnold will have a turnover. Guarantee it. Book it.
Yeah.
Book that. I'm taking the Giants, by the way.
Same here. I'm going to go with Giants in that one as well.
Malik Davis, baby. Check him out.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Another one. New England getting 9 points at Cincinnati. New England getting 9 at Cincinnati.
I like
New England with the 9. No T. Higgins.
Yeah.
T. Higgins sounds like he got injured late in this week with the hammy. Jamar not gonna be in football shape. Bengals will still win because New England's awful. Hey, but our defense is still gonna be real. I like New England in the 9. What you think, J-GILLZ?
Man, I don't only like New England with that. I like New England in the overall. I'm picking them to win the game.
Oh,
I'm picking New England to win. I think they're gonna come out and shock a lot of folks. I think they are, man. So I like Mayo. Drake May might have one of those Justin Herbert type, openings coming out parties. He looked really good in the preseason. I'm just saying, I'm liking it. They still got a great running game. As long as they can run that ball, let Drake May do his thing. I like him. In Minnesota, I mean, come on now.
I'm taking the 9 points with New England in that one. Chicago, Tennessee getting 6.
Yeah, let's skip that. Hey, Tennessee getting 6.
That's a lot
of points.
I'm taking Tennessee, and I'm taking them in the upset. I think the Titans going to go into Chicago, and they're going to beat the Bears down with their physical defense and pull this game out.
See, I like the under on that one. I like the under on that, but I like the 6-2. Can we go to Jaden Daniels? Where are we? Can we go? I know we hear the music, Brad, man. Yeah. I'm telling, just like J-GILLZ doing it, let me jump into it. Washington Commanders, led by LSU's Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels, take them on the money line, baby. Plus 160 is where I got it at my spot. 160, they will beat the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, he's good. He ain't great. I like Washington with the upset.
And we're gonna end it off with Cleveland, with Dallas at Cleveland. James
hey.
Wilson, station manager, driving down to Cleveland to see his Cowboys. I hope he don't get disappointed. I think he will be disappointed. I think Cleveland gonna find a way with Myles Garrett to get the turnovers and win that game. And especially if it starts raining and they're on the lake. They on that lake. You don't know what kind of weather conditions.
Yeah.
If it starts raining, that's even more of a thing. I'm take the in a pick 'em. Take Cleveland in this contest.
Agree. BacSpin's my man. I love you, BacSpin.
Yeah, I might be picking Cleveland myself. You know what I'm saying? Business over personal. Yeah.
And BacSpin
over personal.
And BacSpin, I know you really live that because, hey, we're going to be giving y'all updates every week on our fantasy league. BacSpin running around here with Saquon Barkley.
Come on, man.
Is that you, BacSpin?
That's me, man.
Yeah, it's business, baby.
Who's the guy who left Reed on the bench?
I know. Hey, it's week 1. We got to fill it out. But, hey, we're going to check it out. But Jalen Reed will be in the lineup. He will be.
I said, I know Fanatic is sick right now.
Jalen went crazy. It's a great name, man.
Absolutely right.
Yes, I can't front though. Saquon came out and did his thing for me, even though I'm a Cowboys fan and Philly is in my division.
Exactly.
Hey, like I said, you got to put that business over personal. Yeah, it's got to stand on business in this fantasy football league.
No, hey, that's why. Hey, Jalen, my boy J-GILLZ, tell your man Jalen Waddle, I need some. And to me, they disrespect my man Michael Pittman. Hey, Rich, man, he better find my boy Pittman early and often, man.
Oh yeah.
Let's get it.
Or Penix. Or Michael Penix will be in the game pretty soon. I think sooner or later Penix will be replacing the quarterback because he's coming off an Achilles injury. It's hard to come off of those and play well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so
Kirk Cousins. Hey, Kirk Cousins. Hey, he like T.J. Hockenson. He better find Kyle Pitts too, man. I'm interested to see how that's gonna go. Kyle Pitts may be on the block after week 1, man. I'll come holler at you.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow in the football games, man. Y'all fellas, I know you're gonna enjoy the first season or the first weekend of the season, I should say. And college football is back.
Yeah, Coach Prime tonight, baby.
Yeah, Coach Prime is tonight.
Colorado will be live. That's going to be like, hey, at LSU, 48-point favorites at home. Baton Rouge is already live. People ready to take over Tiger Stadium. I said, Brian Kelly, no more of these marquee games. We need to play Nichols in the first game of the season every year. We need to play MCC or St. John Fisher next year. I'm trying to set it up. Next year.
I like Colorado in the points in that game tonight. I like Colorado against Nebraska. Take the points with Colorado. I like that. I like them with the points. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Deal Sports Show. Hit the bell icon to receive notifications. Remember, thank you for all the people that joined last week. Please come on, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Real Deal Sports Show, guys. Talking sports of all sorts each week.
Yes, indeed. Sports of all sorts with the Real Deal Sports Show, Fanatic, J-GILLZ, and the Radney. Man, y'all have a great weekend. We'll check back in next week. You heard?
No doubt. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Roxy, the back of the show is on the way right here on the beat.